we're going to get started here. So, last time we played, the party had come back from their shopping trip and found that Harrow had seemingly seen some shit and was like, guys, I found something's not sitting quite right with me. I want to go check it out. And you guys followed him to sort of a northern part of the market district of Beckinsale. And it appeared to be like a giant cranium rat, or I say giant, large cranium rat that wasn't sort of following him like every other rat seemed to be. And you followed it down this alleyway and came across a rune on a wall that only Harrow could see. And then when Harrow sort of reached out with his mind and interacted with this rune, the wall pushed in and slid, and you found a way down into what seemed to be the start of some kind of mind flayer conclave. A fight ensued, and some information was gathered. There was a note that the party had not been able to discern what was on that note yet. And you found 7 people in this chamber, a couple of which were beyond saving and had to be put to rest, and a couple of these were maybe not sure about, but about over 60% of them you were sort of convinced could be saved. I believed we left off last week as you were heading up the stairs, seemingly looking for help, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Sorry, my camera's in the wrong position. So everyone make me a let me a second open the character sheet here. Well, I'm thinking history or perception check, whichever one works out best for you. History or perception, please.
21.
Is
very good.
Rolling.
I hope I didn't use all my good rolls with these dice last week.
Mine is still trying to roll.
Yeah. You may need to re-roll it. We'll see. I'm also going to have Michael
there we go.
Planned. I've told. Okay, so 19, 7, 21, and 11. So Harrow and Indra, you guys, so the party is collectively trying to figure out where they are going to go to tell about the situation that's going on and how to best get these people help. And I believe the party was thinking along the lines of some kind of healer. So you're running through your head about if you've seen any temples or any sort of districts in the area, or know of anything with your history check of where might be the best place to go. Harrow and Indra, you remember seeing a area that was smack bang in the middle of the market district, which seemed to give rise to this really tall temple-like building that you would hazard a guess if you were going to find any kind of religious, clerical kind of healer, you'd probably go there.
So, the bar okay with the set on there? That's okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Harrow is been. Sorry, go.
No. Go ahead.
No, Harrow is just he's still very quiet and morose, and he's just going to walk at the back of the party, kind of slowly twiddling his crossbow string between his hands, feeling it kind of twang against his fingers. Still quite numb.
Okay. Yeah. So the party is walking in whatever way they see fit. People are breaking off. Ariel, fuck, I've got everyone's name wrong. It's been too long since I've been playing. I need to pull up the campaign.
Ariel.
Ariel and Bragg, thank you, are sort of not really talking either. They have almost like they have had their personalities removed, and are just sort of walking along the rest of the party. But eventually, you get to a gigantic structure. It's over 200 feet tall, and the outside of it appears to be made from a polished marble. Those of you who are a bit more in tune to space and the natural sort of decent geographical knowledge, someone like Harrow or Amir would know that this place does seem to be in the absolutely geographical center of the market district. The temple appears to have a low hum of activity surrounding it as people enter and leave down, up and down the marble steps in their droves. You see all kinds of creatures here. You know, you see more giant kin, the odd sort of elemental evil race of like a bugbear or a full orc that seem to have been domesticated for some reason, or you see the odd Goliath of different ancestry, along with your more common creature races like gnomes and humans and the like.
Interesting.
Do I see what god the temple is for?
Roll a religion check with advantage. That's a pretty low DC. In fact, I don't even know why I'm asking you to roll. D&D, roll a dice.
14.
Just judging from the iconography, and you can sort of tell from the way, or you would imagine from the way the windows are sort of stacked, that there's probably 6 levels to this temple. Sort of, and you're starting to think, it's like, well, there's 6 different types of giant race and the ordning and all that sort of stuff. You would imagine that this is a temple of Anaman. Or Ananam, however you pronounce his name. Big old giant god.
Is he like the head of the pantheon type?
Yeah,
a
he's
Zeus
like
or
the-
He's the giant Zeus.
Yeah, he's like the All Father.
Okay.
He's
I
all the
thought so.
giants descend from him. Ananam. Annam. Ananam.
A-
On and on. And it goes on and on and on. Keep it moving, Timmy, where the night is on.
You would
On
know
and on
with
and
your
on.
14 that typically temples that are dedicated to him in this kind of way are typically just colloquially known as the Temple of the One.
Oh, the
I
temple
think
of the
Harrow's going to
one.
bust something about kind of, it doesn't bother me which god they pray to, as almost they can heal the sick. That's the only test of divinity that ever mattered
It's
to
the
me.
temple of the one.
I was being allegorical, Ymir, but thank you.
No worries.
Who was it got the map of the town? Was it Bragg?
Brag.
I'm gonna
Bragg,
roll
you're very quiet today. What do you think?
I'm gonna roll a perception check with advantage.
Brag
Oh, I meant to
made
send
mouthful
it
or
to
something.
Yeah.
He rolled a
It's like
16.
it's like a Penn and Teller bit where every time we cut to Bragg, he's doing something. He can't speak.
He rolled a 16, so he turns and goes, well, I suppose there is a big... It's on this map here. There's a big sort of temple on this map, and... Oh, you know that that floaty place in the sky there? There's one of those teleport circles that gets you into it nearby. So maybe this is like a main thoroughfare or something.
Your
Like
Michael
Amy's drinking.
impression is it always makes me laugh.
Yeah. Michael has a real
Because-
tendency to extend a lot of his letters.
Yeah.
So,
So,
who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
well, I wouldn't say that, but
And also, he doesn't really do a voice for any of his characters. He's just Michael.
Just
I
Michael.
love it. I love it. Bragg the Druid. Yeah. No, that's fine. Again, Harrow's on mission. He's going to say, "Let's heal the sick, and then we'll worry about the politics later."
So, assuming the party ascends the steps into the temple. So they're made of the same sort of polished marble that the rest of the temple appears to be made out of, and there's a couple of scuff marks, from heavy wear and heavy footfalls. Probably a good thing, improves the grip so you don't all go flat in your face from walking on polished marble. It's about 30 feet worth of steps up. They'd be tricky-ish for someone of gnomish stature, just because they're sort of a regular size step. It's a bit more bringing the leg over to get up.
Can I ask? Sorry, logistically, did we? What's the deal with the people trying to get cured, or do we just hand wave that away and say we'll just get a runner to do that for us, or are they just sitting where they are and we're going to try and summon someone to go get them?
Oh, that's the question. Did you bring one of them with you? Did you bring them all with you?
I don't think we
I think
rolled anything else.
Well,
I think the plan was to leave them there, wasn't it?
Okay,
Yeah, I think so.
that's fine. Just checking.
And as you walk through the 60-foot double doors, you notice that the floor changes slightly as you walk in, and the first level here has a mossy floor, and in the center of the floor is a depiction of a large rotund creature that appears to be standing on a hill. The craftsmanship is decent, but nothing to write home about. And in certain corners of the room, there are flowers and even a couple of berry bushes and potted vegetables growing from the floor bed. And Amir, you would know that this is the lowest level of the ordning would be for hill giants. So this is more than likely showing where they are in the whole religious.
Casts.
Yes,
Yeah.
that depicts all of giant sociology.
Giant dumb.
Yeah, all of giantdom. And you see, there's a lot of people hustling or bustling around here. You see some of the creatures that are in the space are in more of like friar kind of wear, sort of brownish garb and a simple rope belt and maybe hands together like this in the sleeves and all, sort of look a bit more, not poor, but definitely live in temple.
I think we need to go talk to those guys.
Sorry, were you saying something, Sridhar?
Oh yeah, I was just wondering, do we think we would be able to know which floor would be ideal for healing? Yes, I don't know if it's.
That's my thinking is from an outsider as well. Is it like, are they all kind of magical and could do a kind of great restoration, or is it this kind of reserved for the upper caste only?
Yeah.
Would Amir know? I'll turn to Amir and be like,
Yeah.
can the hill giants do that kind of stuff, or is it just for the big boys?
Amir,
What do you now?
roll either a history or religion check, and do it with advantage because it's around giantdom.
Religion or what? Sorry.
History. Or you know what? Because it would also count, in my opinion, as nature. So if you wanted nature, you could roll that instead
That is slightly better for me. So
with advantage.
While you guys are having this conversation, you notice that Odric just isn't really talking very much.
only got an 11.
He's disgusted that these creatures are kind of being worshipped, because these are the same creatures that basically destroyed half of Plank.
Okay. I thought he was having PTSD from the mind flares, but I love that.
That's my thing.
Yeah. You wouldn't be too well versed on who would particularly be able to. You've no idea what mind flayers are. You've no idea what the mind flayer tadpoles are. You're kind of here because Harrow has said this shit's crazy. We need to get this fixed. But you would know that of the ordning, the hill giants are the lowest. Then it's stone, frost, fire, cloud, storm. So you're not sure if that weighs in here of the magical ability of the clerics, but you would say your best bet would probably be to try and find someone to ask. You know, you're not in hostile territory or anything like that.
Oh man, my mother would have my hide for forgetting my gods again. I think we should best ask. The only one I really remember at the minute is Hatiasis.
I wonder
I'll
why.
drink I'll drink lighten up, alright? If the giants didn't get plagued, the dragons would have. It's a cruel, cruel world. These people didn't hurt you. I'm going to gesture around to the various commoners. As little
Just
folks
kinda-
just pawns.
I just kind of grunt and nod.
As you two are talking, a sort of middle teenage, like a 15, 16-year-old girl is wandering around with like a wicker basket of some of the strawberries and berries that have been pulled off the plants and is kind of wending through all the people and offering. If you guys want anything, you sort of notice as people are going by, they put in like somebody will maybe take one or two and put in a silver, someone will take a handful and put in a couple of copper. It's almost like trying to like what you
Give what you
think
can.
it's worth. Yeah, give what you can. And just sort of slowly wending through so that if anybody wants one, they can, you know, take and give rather than speeding about the place. But she also doesn't stop and ask.
I'll grab a couple and drop in a few silver.
I'm also going to reach in with big fingers and just pluck one strawberry and like,
Indra,
and I'll drop a
You're-
gold in the basket.
Indra, you're good with the ladies, right? Harrow here is just assuming. And you go grab her, you know.
Definitely not 15-year-olds, but
You're
yeah.
good with the ladies, go grab her. If that's not the most Harrow comment ever.
Yeah, he's a cop.
I mean, that's not a
He's an
Harrow
ex-cop.
comment. That's a I have no brain tonight.
Marmondale.
Marmondale, thank you. That's a Mordenkind
Possibly.
was going through my head. That's a Marmondale comment.
But Harrow's gonna be like, yeah, just grab her. Look, ask her if there's got anyone here that raise the dead or do big magic. We'll go straight to the source.
Yeah, super. Yeah, I guess I'll drop in a gold as well and then ask the young lady about where to go to see look for healers.
Okay, so she stops and she is, I say, she's about 16, very fresh faced, sort of. She's human, big brown eyes and long brown hair and a ponytail. And the people who partaked in the strawberries that were, or the whatever berry happened to pull out they are delectable. They are so perfectly sweet and ripe and exactly the way you'd want them to be. She turns to Indra and she goes, "Oh, we have a lot of requests for healers, and that's why a lot of people come to the temple. Unfortunately, I'm here just to serve people as they come in and try and collect what little money I can. But if you want to speak to someone who's a little bit more informed, the head priest for this level is Brother Dopin over there, standing in front of the stone depiction in the center of the room." And she points to a sort of rotund 6-foot person, still in the same sort of robes, but has like a little gold chain around the top of his robes, maybe saying a symbol of authority of some description.
Thank you.
Does he look like a Goliath?
He does look like a Goliath, and as you make eye contact with him, Amir, you feel a sense of like cosmic emboldenment over him, and you think that because of the way the ordning works and the way that Goliaths are giant kin, that as you are a frost giant, you would have a bit of more sway over hill and stone giant-based Goliaths. Basically, behind the curtain gives you advantage on your checks with them. Like
Cool.
social checks with them.
God damn it! Now I wish have picked Storm Giant.
Yes,
As a
maybe that
fellow
works the other way as
cost
well.
giant.
You know.
Amir chugs an elixir and turns into a storm giant. Yes, he looks very hill giantish. He's quite broad, but whereas Amir is sort of like 4% body fat or whatever it is, this guy is strong but quite a rotund belly.
More like Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
Let's go over there then.
As he sees you guys approach, he sort of, his arms come out of his sleeves and you can see these great big mitts, shovels for hands. And he's like, "Welcome to the Temple of the One. How can I help today?"
Can you do healing and stuff like that?
Depends on how much healing you require. I'm gifted with basic arts, but some of our more complex requests would be maybe one of the higher up brothers or sisters can help you with that.
Harrow, how much healing do these guys need? Like a lot,
A
or
lot.
little, or medium?
A lot.
Maybe a lot.
If it's a
It's a
big
curse. The bad kind.
Oh well, then
You
you're
don't want to leave
probably
this thing in them.
You're-
Put it that way.
you're probably best dealing with Brother Kasak. He's the head of this temple. He's the storm giant Goliath at the top floor.
Can we just go? Can we just go see him?
Yes, go freely. He may be busy, but there is no private chambers in the Temple of the One. We sort of stay in a group house off-site at nighttime. But yes, this place is free to wander.
All right.
And he gestures to an area of the. It's sort of like an hourglass shaped space with the stone depiction in the center, and he gestures to a wall behind him, just past like if it's an hourglass shape, it'd be like here. You guys are sort of here. It'd be here. That you can just now that he's pointed out, you can make out sort of a moss covered stairwell. Sort of winds around and up.
Come on, then, you lot.
Yeah. All right.
As you go up the stairwell, about 3/4 of the way up, the moss kind of just suddenly stops, and instead it is replaced by a stone floor. Has been shined to a nearly impossible degree. Excuse me, unlike the marble on the outside, there are no scuff marks or footprints on this. And as you would step down, like Amir, you would sometimes, leave on like a hard surface. You'd maybe leave like a cold footprint as you pass, or Audric, you'd maybe leave like a spurt of oil or something as your new boots go over. And where you would expect to see like a scuff mark or a trail or anything like that, it just is magically completely dissipated. There's no showing of your passage as you go. You climb up into the main chamber,
Fancy.
and in the room, sort of in the stacked above where the hill giant structure was, directly above it, is one depicting a creature that is very long-limbed, quite spindly, with a large bald head, elongated, almost too long for its body, and you can see it depicted standing in front of a mountain.
Hmm.
There are
This
people
next
up here, but
floor
there's
up.
less people.
This the next floor up or the top?
This is the next floor up. There's 6 floors.
Okay.
So, assuming I will keep going until you tell me that you've stopped. Um, as you climb into the level above, again, about 3/4 of the way up, the floor changes, and the sort of moderate temperature of Beckinsale completely changes to a almost uncomfortable degree. It drops, not enough to do harm or cause any kind of exhaustion, but everyone but Amir, you kind of pull your arms into your chest and you can see your breath quite heavily in front of you. And if you've got an easy layer of clothing to throw on, like a cloak, you are contemplating putting it on. Um, the entire floor has a thin sheen of ice across it, which emits a dim pale blue light. And in the center, again stacked directly on top of the other one, is a depiction of a large blue creature sat down in front of a blue flamed fire. And you see that the creature in this space that has sort of the gold chain around their neck is a female Goliath of frost giant ancestry.
Amir's gonna take a deep breath of the cold air and like, that's good stuff.
You finally feel comfortable for the first time, Amir. The level of... Oh, go ahead.
Well, we might as well see what she's got to say, you know.
She is similarly built to Amir, but slightly smaller. So quite muscular, quite brawny. And she introduces herself. She says, "Greetings, I'm Sister Rhyme. How can I help?"
Greetings, sister. I'm Emir.
Nice to meet you, Amir. We don't see many fellow frost giant kin around here.
Frost giant, best giant.
She leans in close and she's like, "You're right, but we're not allowed to say that in here."
It offends the weaklings.
If Thormundgrund, Nimin, or Kasek heard that, I could be out of a job.
Yeah, they'd have a face like thunder.
She finds you very amusing. Giant humor.
We're seeing about some healing for some guys that are, according to my friend here, real fucked up. Is that something you can help with?
I can help with, some, like, I've cured a couple of blood curses in my time, or I've repaired a broken arm or two, but I've not really done any, like, cutting or surgery or anything like that, and I'm still not as blessed as the others above me would be. It sort of depends what you need.
What about the weird squiddy boys with the tadpoley things?
Oh, does she know what you're talking about? That is the question.
Emir doesn't know what he's talking about, but that's what he
She rolled a 4, and we'll say probably a +2 to add to that. She goes, I mean, I've eaten a few squids in my time, but I've never tried to cure one.
Fair enough. The hill guy did say we'd probably need the big boss, but thought I'd check.
Can I maybe ask Ymir to ask the lady how to persuade the big guy? If there's any good way to persuade the guy, just so we get a bit of an idea how to talk to.
If there's anything you can say to sweet talk the guy at the top.
Yeah. How's he like? And
is there anything that'd be good for the big guy? Like, what? How do we get on his good side?
Well, as I'm sure you can imagine from what you've seen so far, Brother Kasek is a storm giant lineage, Goliath, and therefore he is the wisest and most powerful of us. But as long as you speak to him with a true heart and your meanings are pure, I'm sure he will find a way to help you.
Okay.
So as she bids you farewell and good luck on your continuing rise, and then as you go up to the next level, the chill in the air is gone. For a brief second, you're comfortable until it goes too far the other way, and you are now basically standing inside a forge. There are clanks of hammers and anvils every 30 feet, and there is you get a feeling that the people in here are working on this religiously. Like there's maybe, I don't know, a belief that they're appeasing some kind of god, or maybe the weapons here are blessed in a certain way. You can see that in the center of the room, the visage of this is a lot more purposeful. It's not just a random depiction of a random giant. This is quite clearly Surtur, the fire giant god of war. And you can see he is in the center of the room. He's depicted in black, and he is working the forge with his arm raised, ready to bring it down on a large blade on top of his black anvil. And if you wander around, you can see that the back of the visage is actually a forge. There's a giant hole with a roaring fire coming through it, which is filling the heat of the room. The woman that stands here, Sister Thormengrund, is a fire giant Goliath, and she has a slight charcoal hue to her skin. She is adorned head to toe in heavy black armor, but it does barely contain the muscles that bulge underneath her plate mail.
Is it worth checking with this one as well?
Well, clearly she doesn't know what she's doing. Look how hot she's running that forge.
Audric, you're
let
walking around looking at all the different, like hopping up kind of to see
Yeah.
what's going on the blacksmithing tables, and you're like, oh, there's a technique I could use. They've beveled that. That head's way too big and heavy for that short frame. All this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of these people
That
are
forge
clearly
well's not
amateurs.
annealed.
Do you have blacksmithing tools, Amir?
No.
No.
That was Alex coming through.
I wasn't sure. I was like, he's a Goliath. He might have blacksmithing tools.
No, carpenters.
The carpenters. You do notice, Audric, that there is someone who appears to be making some kind of absolutely perfectly crafted sort of elven longsword. They're sat closer to the staircase up, so that they're kind of where you would say is probably the best place you can get for a kind of proper heat in this, but not too hot, not too close to the forge. The blade is about 4 feet in length with a proper full-handed grip, with the option to. They appear to be keeping the first like third or so of the blade a bit more blunt for the purpose of handling the blade at to dual wield it if needs be. As you're kind of walking around and you look at the anvil, you can see like an inscription of Surtur, of the fire god of war. So there may be something to these weapons. Actually, the weapons created here or the armor created here maybe being slightly blessed. But the person that works over it is a surprise, is a dwarf. Is a male dwarf with a big red bushy beard, shocks of grey through it. And this is clearly someone that knows what they're doing.
I was half expecting to say it's a elven black
I know.
smith.
Go
Yeah.
get tonight.
House
I'm just gonna get a beer, but I'm still listening on my phone.
Yes, no problem.
House failure.
This is like the first time the entire time that Audric even like his scowl even like falters slightly, and he just kind of looks over it and gives it like a Not bad. Not bad. Like he almost goes over it, like he goes to like go over with his hand out to like pick up the sword and check its balance, but before he gets to like the where it is, he just kind of stops himself and heads back towards the stairs.
Okay. The dwarf kind of gives you a look, and then as you back away, kind of shrugs your shoulders and then continues working on hammering it to a absolute razor's edge. Well, hammering and then grinding to a razor's edge. The next level up, the heat is replaced with a thin layer of mist on the ground. Every surface that you can see is gilded in gold. In the corners of the room are piles of gold and gems stacked high, and the center sculpture shows a pale-skinned creature on top of a hoard of gold with almost two vampiric-like fangs jutting from its top lip. The main priest on this level is a cloud giant descendant. Surprise, surprise. He's dressed in loose, opulent clothes and is adorned with many other jewels, along with the gold chain on his neck.
Hey, brag! They don't need all this gold.
You're right. And let me see what alignment he is out of curiosity.
Unfortunately, whatever his
he's
alignment
lawful
is,
good.
his inner coat would absolutely be coming out right now.
He is lawful good, but I'll say he tries a sleight of hand to try and grab something. He rolled a 3 + 1, but fortunately for him, as you see, he kind of everyone sees him. Everyone in the party at least sees him. You see, he goes to go over to one of the pile of gold and pocket it, but his hand passes right through it. It appears to be illusionary. Amir, you would know that cloud giants have a bit of a reputation for being the most covetous of giant kin. They're all about trying to, almost draconically, like gaining wealth and magical items and that sort of shit and hoarding it. So it would make sense that the sort of cloud giant level would be a bit more opulent.
Yeah, make sense. No cloud giants leaving the valuables out for anybody. No, you know.
Oh, they're also tricksters. They're also quite like they
Yeah.
like playing pranks and practical jokes and stuff like that.
They're definitely the sneakiest giants.
Going up the stairs again to the last level. About 3/4 of the way up, a couple of you almost stumble and trip as the stairwell melts away almost. You can feel it under your feet, but you can't see it as the floor beneath you turns into these thick, full clouds, almost like the mist is coalescing and thickening together. Above you, you see the night sky. Not only do you see the night sky, those of you who are a bit more intelligent, those like Audric and Harrow, and I'd say Indra, because Indra's pretty well traveled. In fact, Amir is a farmer. He'll spend time outside looking at the stars. These are like...
If you're about to say the stars druid isn't going to spot stars.
That is a fair point. I forgot he was a stars druid. Yes. Okay, everyone but Ariel sees
Ariel will fuck himself. Everyone else.
yeah, that these are proper constellations. These are accurate depictions of the sky. You would imagine if it was nighttime now, you would be basically looking at an accurate representation of the night sky. The rest of the room falls away, and you can only really see... You're only aware that you're still in a room because every now and again you see these small spheres of light that can be seen on, like, floating but on pedestals around the room. The center of the room has the largest sculpture by far, filling almost the entirety of the space, showing a creature that has half a torso. Below the stomach is just a swirl of air. The torso and head are colored blue, and just underneath what you would call the skin moves like lightning. The face has piercing purple eyes and a long beard. There's only one other person on this floor, and it is the main priest. You notice that golden chain again. He is a storm giant descended Goliath. This is Brother Cassock. He has been touted as the most powerful person here, and he is, sort of that long, almost Dumbledore-ish like beard and hair, and similar to the bust in the center of the room, he also has like uh, a pale blue pallor to his skin, and just underneath his skin, around like where his veins would be, and he's quite muscular. You can sort of see sort of flowing around like lightning, dancing across his skin.
Amazing. Gonna point at the ceiling and go, I heard about this in Ananama history.
Fuck you. You can have a gold for that. And an
kind of,
advantage at initiative, or fucking inspiration if you don't have it.
I waddle up behind Amir and go, as much as I hate to say it, we probably shouldn't pick a fight with this one. And I try to pat him on the back, but I can only reach like the upper half of his thigh.
His butt cheek.
So I slap him just below his ass, and I give you guidance, just in case.
Ferg, you muted, mate.
It's easily done. Yeah.
Slap it on his ass. Go get him, Tiger. Go get him, giant boy.
Are you Brother Cassock?
He was seemingly contemplating a thought. He was sort of stood very, very still. Looking off into the middle distance. He didn't even register. He was looking in your direction as you came up, but he didn't even register. There was no like, oh, there's people. As you speak, it kind of snaps him back into reality, and he goes, with this big booming voice, not quite as big and booming as Van Stad, but this is still fills the space, which feels like infiniteness, with quite a lot of authority.
Sounds like Keith David.
Yes, Keith David, what a goat. I'm terribly sorry I didn't see you come in here. I was thinking. Could you repeat what I assume was a question?
Are you Brother Cassock?
Yes, I am. Brother Cassock, at your service. I am the leader of I have to be the good fortune to be the leader of this Temple of the One.
We seeks healing for some folk that are mightily fucked up. And the hill giant fellowkin downstairs suggested that you were the only one mighty enough to do the job.
Brother Dopin speaks very kindly of me. I'm honored to be held in such high regard. If they are truly in such a bad way, then perhaps I could help.
Yeah, there was a squiddy boy, and there's some tadpoles, and they're in these tubes. And my mate Harrow over there says they are, yeah.
You notice like a realization come over him, and of what you're talking about. It's not a bad description, and you don't know how old this guy is or how world traveled he is, but a realization comes over, followed by a quick turn of shock as he's like, "You wouldn't be discussing mind flayers, would you?"
Yeah, I think that was one of the things Harrow said, or
I'm going to walk up this one and say,
Elephant.
elephants. Yeah.
Yeah, elephants, that's one. Yeah.
I guess I can just show him they have a head to prove a point.
Oh, that's right. You took a head, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like spend 10 minutes describing it. Oh, by the way, here's the head.
That's the creature we're talking about. I'm gonna wrap him back in and keep it in my bag again.
He is shocked to his core. He's like, "Please Tell me everything. Where did you encounter these horrid creatures?
In your city.
We found them underground. There was one of these guys and 2 brain dogs, and then there's a bunch of people in tubes, and the people that looked too far gone we gave last rites to, and the rest are still down there, and we're hoping you can help them.
As you say that you give last rites to them, he does like a religious, like their version of like the sign of the cross. He does like a religious movement in the air. And he's like, well, if your judgment was that they were truly too far gone, then may Anam have mercy on their forever souls. Please, where was this? I assume you're here because you're trying to save however many others there were.
Yeah, if we can.
Do you know what they were doing here?
Hold on, music in
We
the
do have
background.
a diary that they've. We just couldn't interpret it. You'd like that to check.
I don't know. There was a big brain, but it was all rotten.
Do you
So,
show him the diary, or
yeah. I'll just hand over the other to him.
he looks at it and he's, this appears to be written in Abyssal, I think.
Abyssal. That can't be right.
Well,
These aren't demons, are they?
actually, let me double check.
Sorry, I assumed you were like
Niall
saying
may have
that. Sorry.
misspoke.
I assumed you'd be like in character, like, oh, there's a plot twist here. These are Abyssal line players.
No, Niall may have misspoke. I can't remember what they can talk.
Absolutely fine.
Deep speech, telepathy, and was in undercommon, not abyssal. Apologies. This appears to be written in undercommon.
This appears to be written in Australian.
Good day, mate. I've moved into this here
Crikey.
crib.
Doc, I can't read the language. When they write the word no, it seems to be spelled with 3 A's and a U. No. Undercommon. What do they mean, God damn it?
It has been a long time since I've read Undercommon, but I do have the ability. Would you like me to translate this for you?
If you think it would help, but I don't know if the other guys need healing first. I don't know how long they've got.
Well, I can read this and then I can dispatch I will lead some of my more gifted healers to try and deal with this problem. It
No,
appears
I
to...
think we should just ignore this plot hook for just another 3 days.
You're right. Door shut.
I hate reading, man. I hate books.
Also, who is this Matilda, and why does she like to waltz?
You all see Audric pull out like a piece of parchment and a quill and just start scribbling something down. Harrow is probably the only one that would know this isn't the book that I would normally write my like sketches in.
Yeah, I think
This
if
is something
I've
different.
got this in hand, I'm probably also curious about this, but I'm gonna fall back to the graphic group with Audric. I'm gonna lean into Audric, not like invading his privacy and asking to see what he's written, but open with my own kind of thrust. And I'm gonna say, if it is true as they say that the only gods in the world of this matter that are giant ones and dragon ones, why the hell do you suppose they filled it full of humans and other uglies? Strange, don't you think?
Maybe we were meant to topple them.
Wouldn't that be a sight? I'm gonna cast my good eye over what Audric's writing if he'll allow me, but maybe Audric shies away. I don't know.
Like I basically just writing down like ideas of how we could potentially weaponize Illithid against the giants because he seems afraid of them.
Harrow was thinking he was just gonna find a brother in arms, being like, "Yeah, giants suck, am I right?" And he sees that, and I think his face darkens. He's like, "You weren't there, man. You weren't there."
Like, ma'am.
Yeah, crazy shit, man.
Yeah, put a
I saw guys
tadpole and a
face
giant
explode.
dragon, see what happens.
Yeah.
It appears to be a personal diary of whatever creature you encountered. It's sort of day one, stumbled into city, can hear in my head, must find. That's all it says, and then it's quiet for a few days, and then about a week later, it seems to mention that it's circled in on the psychic call in its head, and it's found one of these. I think that says Ancient Brian, Ancient Brain, Forgotten to Time. And then,
Oh, there was a rotting big brain.
and,
Harrow said it's like the big boss of the Squiddy Boys.
We had a wizard back in Platon called it an elder brain.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. It makes more sense than Elder Brian. I knew an Elder Brian once. It's and then it starts going on off about all these ramblings about research it's done of how to bring back elder brains, and these brain dead peons built a city around it and have no idea the ancient power it possesses. It needs apparently it figured it out. It figured out what it needed to do to resurrect the brain. It needed more of its own kind around it to almost psychically jumpstart it. As it said that it had started its own brood of 7, and it would need many more before it was through. But yes, it seemed to have found in one of many ancient elder brains. Is the what I'm getting from this?
Oh,
That-
that's troubling.
But it is good you stepped in when you did. If this thing had managed to resurrect this elder brain in the center of our town, it would have caused untold havoc. It seemed to have quite a lot of reverence for it, whether it was more powerful. I've not really dealt with elder brains before, but it sounded like it was a very powerful elder brain. I don't know. But I say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will personally lead some of my more gifted healers to try and tend to these souls if we can, and if not, then diminish our own last rites. But you have done a great service to Beck and Sail this day.
You any chance we could accompany you guys down there? We could be your protection. You won't be dead.
If you wish to follow us, yes, then by all means, you're more than welcome to follow our troop. But if you said there was, how many did you manage to save? I think the number was like 4.
I think it's just everybody but the 2, right? Just the old man and the lady. I don't remember.
It was under
does-
5,000.
5? Call it 5.
Yeah.
I think
no,
5
it
out
was-
of 7. But we're umming and ahhing on the Black Dragonborn because, he
Yeah.
should probably.
Yes,
I
that's
think
what it
Harrow's
was.
going to say, I don't want to go down there again unless I have to.
I can enlist a
I
some
sat
city
back
guard.
before. I let the big guys take care of it last time. He's bitter and resigned. He kind of spits on the floor and he goes, I'll let it happen again.
Where
Does it say the name of the creature, and was it Yane? Was it the Diary of Yane?
No, the creature does not name itself. I'm not sure why would you believe it would be called Yane. It doesn't. It seems to be more concerned about this almost religious-esque calling it had. Bay.
You told them.
He continues on with, well, you're more than welcome to accompany us if you wish, but I'd imagine what you saw was probably quite difficult to process. If you have other things that you need to do, or if you just generally don't want to go down there, we have a very good relationship with the city guard. So the Stonehands will protect us, and to be honest, if you've cleared it out as well as you said you had, I'm not sure we'll need protection. But that is a matter between you and your own compatriots.
Yeah, I guess I'll just ask the other guys what they think about it. So obviously, I don't think about what I was thinking. We deal with the afflicted, or that we can, for the next step, family there's 7 of them. And also, we can improve our relations with the one, the simple one. We might be able to get an introduction to the higher ups.
I'm not gonna lie, Sugar. I only caught like one word and 2 of that. It was a little bit quiet.
I really shit. Sorry. So what I was thinking was that we help them out. If we are in good terms with the one, like the Citadel of the One or something.
Yeah.
We might be able to get an introduction to the higher ups that we were
Right,
looking
okay.
to. Yeah, and then I think
It's smart,
we know.
although they don't seem like they want our help. They're I feel like they're saying like they'll do the legwork and do the holy rites, and we're free to go.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I guess it doesn't help to us then now.
No, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely.
You see Aldrich go to step up to talk again because he's like debating internally whether to warn them of like the intelligence sensing abilities of the Illithid, and then he realizes these are giants; they don't have any intelligence.
Sick burn. Sick burn, bro. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah,
today?
whichever god made gnomes in this world full of like giants and dragons, it was a cruel, cruel god, giving them like pre-born with a light complex.
Yeah, the guy now. So we are actually we've been sent here from Agadon. We're adventurers who work with them. We were wondering whether you could get us a letter of introduction to the elder. We need to.
Ah, okay, you're from... I know of Anamdradoon. I've never had the pleasure of going myself. But you said you were... Were you sent here to deal with the Circle of Hands? Or... Like, what... Did they request your help?
So... Not exactly
The Council of
that.
Hands, sorry.
Yeah, so we encountered some of the dragon. What's that again? What are they called again? Yeah, those guys, like dragon cult or something like that.
Yeah, the cultists.
It's one to the cultists, so we just need to talk to the elders about that. Just a warning. So,
Oh, I have heard that there has been threats of some kind of draconic insurrection in Beckinsale, but we kind of believe in separating church from state here. We don't really deal with a lot of the politics in the Sky Hall, but I don't know if you noticed on your way in, but at the foot of the entrance to the Temple of the One, just to the... as you're coming out to the left, you'll see sort of a big sort of stone platform that almost looks like it is like it would push in under some weight, almost like a floating platform. That will transport you up to the Sky Hall if you're seeking an audience with the Council of Hands. If they've sent for you, I'd imagine they'll receive you. But I have very little dealings with them myself.
fair enough. Thank you. And just a warning. So one of the inflicted, they were dragon bones, so we weren't too sure how much time it would take for them to turn. So I was just taking a thoughts in case they do.
Thank you for letting me know. We will deal with that one. We will search for and deal with the Dragonborn first. Like, I'd also like to point out that like we have no prejudice against the dragon-based races. It's just
Nobody
you
said
know
you
what.
did, Fred.
That is true, but things are a bit tumultuous, between giants and dragons. But when it comes to us smaller folk,
Have you contacted the Dragonborn Union representative yet?
no, I never got given their card, unfortunately.
How many Dragonborns do you have in the City Watch here?
3, but one.
There we go. I love it.
3, but one of them's a tiefling. So he sort of. There's no real trick to getting the transports to work. The Sky Hall, you just sort of stand on it and wait a couple of seconds and you'll be brought up to the Sky Hall. But I wish you luck, and you are more than welcome in the Temple of One any day. And if I can receive you, I will. Thank you. You've done a great, great service for the people of this town.
That's a pleasure. Thank you. It's been
Nice.
fun.
Do you make your way out of the chamber, down the...
Yeah, I guess. Was anybody?
Audric, on the way out, could you make me an Arcana check, please?
Oh, D&D Beyond does not like me today.
It's D&D.
D&D Beyond.
The dice are so laggy.
It's a 12. So,
Mhm.
from your own natural gnomish thirst for knowledge versus your arcana ability, your arcane abilities, on the way out, you do know you're a bit like, what are these orbs? Everything else seems to be swallowed by like a bit of a void apart from these orbs. What are they? You notice that these are scrying orbs on your way out.
Interesting.
Like Lord of the Rings style palantirs. Now to do all the descriptions in reverse. No, I'm only joking. You guys managed to make your way down. You know, it's a bit of a trek up and down. The 6 floors of stairs is a lot. You make your way down to the base of the Temple of the One, and as you're standing, you're back to the double doors of the Temple of the One, looking out over the city of Beckinsale. You can see, true as Brother Cassock said, at the bottom of the stairs to the left of where you're looking now, you see a big sort of it's almost floating. You can see the edges are separate from the rest of the road around it, but it is floor height, if that makes sense. It almost looks like it's been carved out with a gigantic blue rune on the set into the stone, and that, from him matching his description and from what Bragg has been saying for the last few hours since he got his map, that appears to be one of the passageways into the Sky Hall.
On my way down, can I leave a donation with the Frost Giant?
Of course you can. She says, "Oh, thank you very much, Amir. Please, if you ever seek the council of the Temple of the One, I'd be more than welcome to receive you." Interpret that as you may.
I guess we head to the platform to go to the Sky Hall.
Okay. The party makes their way down, down the steps and over to this slightly raised platform, and you all gather. You stand there for a couple of seconds, nothing happens. 4 seconds, nothing happens. Audric, you're starting to think like, is this thing broken? Do I need to get out my tools and fix this? And then just as you're about to reach into your bag for your magical wrench, it goes, and you guys for a split second have this, your eyes are bleached with this pale blue light. It is, and your stomach swirls and is sickening as your entire fiber is pulled apart and reformed into a room that has a carpeted floor and about three or a carpeted floor is sort of the first thing you take in as your feet land on something soft, and as your senses come back to themselves, all you can all focus on is this almighty din that is in this room, as there are tens, if not hundreds of people crammed into what is like a DMV style room. You see like one person sat behind a cornered off desk with which is sort of like government building DMV stylish. There's like a thin layer of glass in front of them and like just wood on the other sides. There's like a barred door to their seat, and you've got just, you've not counted, but you would guess 50, 60 people in a single line that just dots around the room through like various barriers, and it's like a structure, good old British structured line. And yeah, everyone is sort of, you'd imagine there's people have come in like their twos or threes together, and there's just an almighty din of just undecipherable conversation.
Harry was nervous in a big crowd.
Yeah. I guess it's a good party to get our story straight, to be honest. So we need to talk about the Dragon Balls. So there's a warning that we need to give them, because we need to talk about the Dragon Balls and how the other guys were undead or something. What exactly was that situation? You weren't able to kill that guy, weren't you? You were to escape back, whatever.
Or I thought I landed a perfect shot on the guy on the dragon back, and he seemed to throw it out of the hand. So he's clearly a very powerful dragon sorcerer of some kind.
So that's the masked man who was on top of the blue dragon, I assume that you're talking about, in Hatius's
Yeah.
Vine. There's a blue dragon
Yeah.
attack on Hatius's Vine. There is the insurrection of the dragon cult in Beckinsale, or suspected insurrection, and
Which
then
is
this
what
elephant
we're
threat.
here for.
That is why you are here.
That's why we're here. So if we don't want to burn our bridges with Anandra Hadun, that's probably the main port of call. I'm maybe kind of relaying this to Indra, being like, these are the points you want to hammer home. Because I know I can't lead the investigation with my dry mouth and wispy voice.
Fair, so potential attack on Beckinsale.
You can always
Look,
hide.
obviously, we're concerned about this. I'm gonna my eyes kind of flicker down to my kind of hip bag, which has still got that orb that we recovered that we've not told that many people about. I'm like, look,
Yep,
we've got other
the
things at play,
unknown
but,
orb.
the unknown orb. And I'm like, but I think we don't know where these guys stand. And I think we should try and knock out the cult, find out we can count from them. If we can take one on alive and find out more, the better. But
so I just want to reiterate, just for, I know it's quite tricky to keep on top of considering we've been playing few and far between. In game, about 3 weeks has passed since the start of the campaign.
Yeah. Remember like 6 months ago when this happened?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to reaffirm sort of the timeline of the world at the minute. You've only been doing this for about 3 weeks. So how are you approaching this? Are you joining the queue? Are you trying to butt ahead? What's the...
I'm going to bend down to tie my shoes and whisper a prestidigitation spell under my breath, and I'm going to make a part of the carpet smell like sulfur quite strongly.
Ooh. Roll a stealth check.
Oh no.
Don't be alarmed by the giant guard that is about to appear on the screen. It's just because there are a few stone hands about the place just to try and keep order and stuff like that. So it'd be stealth versus insight. Insight is a
Well, can I have
wisdom check.
disadvantage? It didn't roll a disadvantage for some reason. I'll roll again.
Why
roll
do you have
better than a
disadvantage again?
Because I am technically wearing chainmail.
Ah, of course. So insight is a wisdom check. Their wisdom's not particularly good. No. As you bend down and you start like the semantic components and the verbal is speaking, semantic is the hand movements. Yeah, as you start the semantic hand movements, your armor sort of rustles and as the like joints clearly need a little bit more oil and all that sort of stuff. And one of the guards looks up, standard generic guard from just keeping the peace, who's about 15 feet away from you, going, "Here now, less of that. We'll have no magic in here, thank you."
Oh, I was just cleaning my boots. Sorry.
That's all right. Everybody gets one.
Mandalorian music.
Doesn't fit the theme at all.
It doesn't,
sure.
but it's so good.
It is so good. No.
Guess we need to. No, I think we need to cut the line. Let's break over.
So, as you're looking around the line, the current person at the front of the line appears to be an old man with a walking stick and sort of a younger person who looks a bit similar to probably some kind of relative, who is sort of tapping on the window with his walking stick. Are you gonna like approach him and try to cut in line, or?
I feel like a dick if I actually cut it down.
I
What's
just yell
behind-
out loud. I'll give everyone who leaves a piece of silver.
Oh, okay.
You see that cuts the line by like 3/4. 40 people leave.
So I knock off 4 gold.
Maybe I'll go up to the old man and try to persuade him to get me. You know, let me go forward. This is a matter of urgency. It's a matter of life and death. Can I possibly go in front of you?
What's that, Sonny? A matter of knife and meth? What?
Hey, mate.
You've read a course of Thorns and Roses. Now read Knife of Knife and Meth.
And his
I'll
the person
In the
standing
strange
beside him.
land of Florida.
the person
A
standing
matter of
beside
Knife
him
and Meth.
she
George
turns
R.
to him
Martin
and
really
says,
lost the plot after this one, didn't he?
"No, Dad. A matter of life and death. It can't be that important. I'm sick of those kids throwing their stink bombs at my house. I'm here to get a guardsman outside my door so you can just wait." Go ahead.
Not that important, is it? Maybe you can hire somebody to get that sorted and skip.
I think
I don't know.
Harrow for his best thought is just smiling because this takes him back to the. I mean, you could call them good old years where he would actually
know.
deal with in public. But
Hey, I'll just stand him a gold coin and say you can wait one turn.
You say you hand him a gold?
Just one gold coin.
And he goes, "Make it 2 and you've got a deal."
You know what? I'm feeling generous today. Why not?
He takes it and then takes a step back with his daughter, and you guys have made your way to the front of the line. There's a couple of people who are about going, "Hey, what? They cut in line. You didn't give me any go," all that sort of stuff, and you just get a bit of a drun of some people protesting. But you've made it to the front of the line, and you see that in the front is a young woman, probably in her mid to early to mid 20s, sort of blonde, straight hair. Seems to be like a. They didn't have suits back in the day. What was formal wear? Like a
Tunic.
black tunic, a pants tunic, and it's just reading the paper, like, hello, how can I help you today?
Hello. Is there any way we can get private audience with whoever's in charge? It's regarding the dragon boat and the potential attack.
You want to
Private
see the
audience.
Council of Hands?
Yes, please. It's really important.
All right, okay.
They're in session at the minute.
Shame.
Did I
Oh.
mention that it's a matter of life and death?
Well, what do you want me to do about it? Like, they'll be done, and when they're done, probably about an hour.
Well, we can wait an hour to go in. That's supposed to be.
Okay, well, go over there. Gonna wait.
We don't want to go in.
What was up?
Are there too many gods supposed to wear the chambers? Do I know where the meeting's going on or the guards?
Are you wanting to know if where the council is meeting?
Whether I could just barge in.
You would imagine that behind, so the layout of the room, which I never really fully described, you've got this this queue that you've now jumped, and the single booth that the woman is sitting behind, the quite rude woman is sitting behind. On either side of her is a pair of double wooden doors, and then, excuse me, on each wall, the left and right wall from where you are now, is 3 single doors. You know, you're a fairly well-traveled man, Indra. You would imagine that these 2 double doors on either side of her probably open into some kind of deeper inner sanctum chamber. You wouldn't be able to say for certain that that's where they're meeting, but you would hedge your guesses that that's probably where, that would at least get you closer to the council chamber.
Yeah, I think Indra so stupid enough to just barge in without knowing for sure. Because I don't want to get arrested at the bar. I guess we wait.
So you're gonna try and barge in, but you don't want to get arrested.
Yeah, because I would have barged in if it was just one door and the guy in the sure where the meeting was going on. So we can have maybe try to go up to the door to see whether.
Do you like motion towards the door like you're gonna go through it?
Yeah.
As you motion towards the door, you're about to go through it. There is like a guard on either side of the double doors, and they kind of do that sort of typical like X thing with like their halberds. And she's like, "Oh my god, what is your problem? Like, fine, I'll go and talk to them. Who are you?"
Say, adventurers from Agadon.
Right, God, okay. And she like throws down her newspaper, gets up and like straightens herself down, and leaves her. She pulls out like a small key and unlocks the door into her like little booth, closes it, locks it again, and walks into the chambers. And you hear sort of as her high heels sort of walk further in, and then 10 minutes later she comes, you hear them resonate again as she comes back, and she says, "Right, well, apparently you guys are important or something, so I've been told for you to please wait in waiting room B over there." And she gestures to her right, which would be your left, and it's the second. It's like the middle room. They said they'll be done as quick as they can, and they'll be with you. God, just get out of my line.
I turn to Amir while she's still in earshot and say, "I'm sorry, Amir. Giants are no longer the most insufferable creature on this."
She just like rolls her eyes and just get out of my line.
Alright.
Really? I thought gnomes were the most insufferable.
I wander over to the old man and go, "I'll give you a gold to take as long as you possibly can."
All right, little man. Yeah, I'll take as long as I possibly can. As I assume the party goes into what has been shown to you as waiting room B. As you walk in, it's a pretty nice room. It's not opulent by any means. Andrew, you've definitely been in nicer waiting rooms, but there appears to be, quite a long, like, diamond shaped table, enough for about 14 participants to sit around, with various sizes of seats. Like they try to, accommodate for all kinds of creature sizes. So Amir, you would find one that's a bit more robust and reinforced, made out of a good strong like redwood or mahogany. And Audric, you would find one that is maybe got slightly longer legs and a nice padded cushion that you would be sort of the goal is to kind of keep everyone at the same height so everyone feels as important as everyone else. Around the rest of the room, on to your immediate left as you come in, you find a table full of refreshments, and you find some like perfectly temperatured meats, and maybe there's some cold cuts and cured meats of various types. There's some nice types of cheese and bread, and to your right you see almost like more like office supplies. You see like quills and inks and parchment. They're used to accommodating various types of people and various types of meetings in this room. You also find at the very end of the refreshments and food table is a crystal jug, and it lets out a pleasant aroma that fills the room of quite a nice like almost like an oolong style tea that is kept just above perfect drinking temperature so that you're not having to like pour it in your glass and down it before it gets cold. It's slightly warmed and it has a nice smell. You hold your it smells, helps clear out the sinuses and all that sort of stuff. And then if any of you do partake in it and pour yourself out a glass into like a little China style teacup, you see that whatever liquid is brought out instantly goes gets replaced.
Hey, Bragg, that looks expensive.
No, Bragg, no.
but it's expensive. I am
We get
gonna
something more
roll.
expensive.
I'm gonna roll a D100 because Michael's not here. If it's less than 50, you'll try and swipe it. 50 or less, no, less than 50, you'll try and swipe it. 50 or more.
I'm
you'll
sorry,
be
Michael.
able
Your
to.
character has been executed for treason.
I'm sorry, Michael. Your character has been
Yes.
executed for being your character.
Michael literally messaged me, be like, "I don't mind if you play without me, just don't kill me." Break him out of jail. No, he rolled a 72, so he is not going to try and swipe it. But I am going to nip to the bathroom very quickly, so I apologize. I'll be as quick as I can.
Howdy doodly neighbor.
Hello.
All I'm saying is Bragg would be dead by now if Michael was here.
Yeah, because he absolutely would have done it as well.
Yeah.
There's not a doubt in my mind.
Oh.
Sorry about that, guys.
Niall, what was the Ebron book that you got that got pushed back?
That
trying
got
to
pushed
remember what-
back.
Yeah, because remember you got the Ebron book.
Oh,
and
the
it got-
artificer
They were doing a
one.
2024 Eberron
Yeah.
setting, but with a new.
I was just looking
artificer
online on D&D Beyond, but I can't actually see it on the list. Like
Uh,
it's due to come out.
I think it's been published.
Yeah.
Eberron Rising from Last War.
Yeah, the
let me
old
just
one's
control
there.
F.
Oh, is that the old one? That's all. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the 2014 one. I could be wrong.
How the fuck do you spell Eberron?
EBERRON.
Echo, Bravo, Echo, Romeo, Romeo.
So there's Rising
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
wait.
Last War, which I think is the 2014 one.
Yeah.
And then
Ah.
the other one's the campaign.
There's
what one's the
Wayfinder's Guide to
setting?
Eberron.
Yeah, that's the setting, and then the Eberron Rising from Last War was the campaign that went with it.
Right, okay. Yeah, there was something they were bringing Artificers to 2024, but it's probably just
Yeah, it's still
delayed.
in UA at the minute.
Yeah, it's probably just delayed. Be
It,
grand.
it was supposed to go out, and then they realised in the physical prints there was a error. So until they could get all the physical prints printed properly, they weren't releasing it for anyone.
Okay.
Hasbro having quality control since when?
Yeah.
So you all have, you may have done it while I was peeing, a moment to a moment of undetermined time for you guys to discuss how you want to approach this meeting.
I'm gonna have a
You're-
look around for more scrying orbs since I saw some in the last place.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
roll
guess so.
a investigation check.
Hey, that's one thing I'm good at. Assuming the dice are my friend. Which
It's
they
always
might
the
be.
question. Always the question.
Ooh, that's good shit.
As you're looking around the room, you don't see any further scrying orbs or any kind of magical listening devices that you can discern. From as far as you can tell, this room is safe to discuss.
Okay.
I assume Audric was looking from a point of suspicion to, can we talk about what we want here?
Yeah. Room's clean, guys.
Oh, thank you. So I guess we could tell them about the attack and the talk, leave the or part, and then go for us.
Yes, we do not talk about Harrow's balls.
Yeah,
Harrow's
we leave
balls are a strictly taboo topic.
No need to get personal.
I think we stick to this, and I pull out the occultist mask I took from Hades' Vine and just stick it on the table.
All we need is lead, and we do it ourselves. Good luck.
We were, just so you guys know, while we're waiting, we were being watched in that last place. I don't think we spoke to the big guy, as it were.
What do you mean?
You
They
can play
said the big
politics,
guy
so you
was.
can get things done, but you can't do both. I'll be
Well,
here
you
when you're
mean-
ready to get back to work.
You mean Brother Cassock wasn't the big guy?
He was. Well, he might have been, but why would somebody be watching his room?
That is suspicious.
Those
did.
lights were scrying orbs.
Wait, to scry with or to scry from?
Scry from, so they could see us, whoever was on the other side.
Weird.
So after sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think
Go ahead, Audra.
Indra should do the talking. You are the most convincing, after all, and I will give Indra a quick guidance before, as we hear people starting to enter the room. I'll give him a guidance.
Yes.
Can I give Indra advantage as I am giant? So like
Define
any
what
sort
you
of
mean.
reputation. Well, like I had like almost a bonus to interacting with other Goliath and Giantkin. So essentially using my Giantkinness to like aid.
Always
They
start
get
with a
friends.
joke. They like that.
So I mean, technically, I can't. I need to look over the rule book again to see the exact wording. But like, as long as you have other willing participants, can't you just give people advantage on their checks
Yeah,
by
that's what I
helping
mean.
them?
But like thematically, I'm essentially using my.
I mean, you can. Like, anyone's able to talk to help Indra out, and assuming Indra is taking the lead in the conversation, like anyone can help him by chatting.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
it's
I'm
not
gonna
like
give
all
him
the rest of you have to be
advantage
quiet.
using my giantness essentially.
Okay.
I like to imagine you just sat there with your battle axe on the table in front of you, and you just got one hand on it, and you're nodding along.
So it takes about 15 minutes. You know, there's the lovely smell of the food, which appear while it's sat on the refreshments table appears to be kept to the right temperature. There's various different types of cuts. There's some your typical. There's beef, pork, chicken, wolf, elk, manticore. Just a couple of different
Ooh, that,
types
that,
of food.
Ooh,
It's surprisingly spicy.
double kick to it.
Yeah, it's got because they've got poison in their tails. One fish, two fish, blue fish, dead fish. And then after about 15 minutes, you hear a knock on the door, and in walks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. 5. Double check this.
Let's get out.
Yeah,
Get that.
5. Hang on. I need to. I opened too many tabs when I was preparing it earlier, so they're a bit conflated. Sorry, apologies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. 5 people. The first being a high elf female walks in. Sorry, I'm just opening everything again. Apologies, bear with me. Yes, a short for a high elf. Sorry, half elf. Sorry, my mistakes. She's about 5'5". She walks in, sort of brown hair with little shocks of grey through it. Following her is a dwarf, who is stocky. He's got quite a few scars across his knuckles and his face. His beard, which is brown hair, beard braided into rings of steel. And then after him comes in a human, fairly young, about in her 30s, who is quite short, but has quite like piercing emerald eyes that sort of dart about the room and take you all in. After her is a another human who's oh sorry, not human, my mistake, is a gnome. She is only about 3'5", 90 pounds, so she's quite plump. Got a kindly warm smile and wears simple brown and green vestments with wheat motifs around it, maybe like a wheat stalk coming out of her simple rope belt. And lastly, to come in is a second gnome who is a good bit older, quite wiry, wild white hair and thick goggles on his brow. They all take their seats on the far side of the room. They kind of come in, say hello kindly, and go to the other side of the table. The half elf sits in the middle. The dwarf sits to her left, and then the human also sits further out from her left. And the two gnomes take on the seats on the right. Again, like I said, everyone is level height to try and give everyone the same level of importance. And she gestures for you all to sit down.
I look over towards the two gnomes. I look back towards Amir with a huge smug grin on my face after his earlier comment. And then I take my seat.
Whereabouts are you sitting? Because there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. Is there only 6 in this party? Oh yeah, because your other fella dropped out. So there's 6 of you. There are 5 of them. Are you particularly? Are you trying to match up how you're sitting particularly at all, or are you just going to take a seat and hope for the best?
Indra will go in the middle, I would imagine. He's going to be doing all the talking.
I would probably keep Harrow between me and them.
Yeah.
Between you
Harrow
and
is
them, what do
desperately
you mean?
concerned with how this goes, but Harrow knows from experience that he's probably only likely to make it worse.
I'll sit next to Indra to give him the
I have
advantage.
Basically, wherever Harrow is, I'm sat on the opposite side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of
Okay.
we're kind of shoulder, and I'm a little bit in front, a little bit protected.
Okay. And then Bragg will sit on one edge and Ariel will sit on another edge.
I'll say what you will about the Plink Assembly, but at least we got to vote once a year, even if it was a sham.
The what assembly?
I love how these little like.
I'm just making up lore as we're going along. It's completely
Yeah,
wrong.
I love.
It's like there, your dementia's getting worse.
No. I love people throwing in lore, but I just need to keep track of it. So, what was the name of that assembly?
I said, say what the Plink Assembly. It was like a
The
citizen
Plink
assembly.
assembly.
It was one of those,
Okay.
like the
I thi-
French Parliament that's like
Yeah.
full of chaos and like breaks down. The coalitions keep breaking down like every few months. I think Plink was like that, but at least it was democratic.
Okay.
You have no authority here, Jackie Wheeler.
Inspiration for that. That is such a callback.
He's already got one.
Oh, well, he can have a gold now.
Someone else can have it. Also, just while I'm on a roll, when it comes to lore about Plink, they're just plinking away.
Okay, you reached that one. You've lost your inspiration. Be inspired.
As you all take your seats, the half elf sort of makes a bit of a hand gesture, and you all sort of feel like a pulse of arcane energy as the a couple of leaves of parchment each from the table, from like the stationary table, and an inkwell and a quill kind of lands itself in front of each of you in case you wish to take notes, or if you want to try and record the conversation in any official capacity. She introduces herself. She says, "Hello, my name is High Stewardess Elira Vance. To my left is our captain of the guard, Captain Barak Stonetide. She gestures to the dwarf. She gestures further back again beyond him to the human. This is Mistress Elira Penwright. She is the head of our guilds and our commerce in town. And she gestures then to my right. And then she says, "This is Sister Callowin of the Hearthfires. She sort of looks after sort of the religions in town. She's the religious leader and quite a skilled cleric, if I might add, to the people in town." And then beyond her is Master Tovik Dren. He's the head of our architecture and engineering, and he deals with a lot of the work in the crafts ward sector of town. Am I right in saying that I was informed that you guys are from Anamdradoon? You are the people we sent for.
Yeah, that'd be us.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Truth be told, I didn't expect to take it. I didn't expect it to take quite as long to get here, as it did. But I don't really care about that. I'm grateful you're here now. Um, the town is in an awful state. We hear of a draconic insurrection every day that somewhere in this town are in warehouses or back alleys in drinking establishments, that there are meetings going on about, you know, sympathy for draconics in Beckinsale, and I simply can't understand it. Why? It's not my question of why. I need you to help me figure out what is going on and to thwart this problem before we lose our precious city. Our pretty city.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for, and we bear news from Atiesis White. We were there recently when there was an attack by the Draconicals, led by a masked sorcerer of sorts. Seems to be immortal as well. Our friend here took a shot at it in the face and he didn't even take damage. Same for one of the fighters. It was a bit bizarre.
In
We think
On-
there's impending danger coming towards you guys. We're here to help.
in the town of the Vine, in the village of the Vine, but that's where we get a lot of our. Oh dear. Oh, we're gonna have to put out a notice. Elira, take note, please. We're gonna have a lesser amount of our Dragon Crush wine and our Hill Giant whiskey. Gods, the people are not going to be happy about this. She's dead. Elira starts taking notes. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. They're an up and coming import for us, and we hopefully send enough to help them grow their city. But that is disturbing that there was a draconic attack so nearby, and with some kind of immortal as well. Gods, things are worse than we thought.
Yeah, I was gonna just about to land a killing blow, and then shenanigans, and the guy up on the dragon did something, and they strike just veered straight off. Would have been a killing blow, you know.
If what you say is true, you describe some kind of divination magic.
Maybe.
I find this most disturbing, but unfortunately, we have to look after our own first. And I would like to point out before we go any further that the people of Beckinsale are firmly with the giants in this war. We have had a couple of attacks on our town over the many years it's been standing, but thanks to the brothers, Guthmar and Thulm, we are still standing to this day. And we are indebted to them with more than our lives. So, please, we want to root out this dragon infection before it gets any worse.
Do we know what kind of giants the brothers are?
They are hill giants. You kind of, if I recall correctly, you saw them on their way, in your way into town. You heard, you camped outside town, like, you didn't quite make it before it got dark, and you heard this, like, almighty rumbling. And then the next day, as you were heading into town, you saw these gigantic hill giants that were, you know, and it makes a lot of sense considering you see a lot of, like, vegetation prosperity. Prosperity. How the fuck you say that? The place is rich with vegetation, and everything
Right.
tastes delicious. And you would know that hill giants make the land fertile and the beasts grow large and things like that through like Indian magic. So we have a little information to give you that could maybe set you off, but there's not. Unfortunately, there's not too much. Otherwise, Barak here would have been able to put the stone hands to work to be able to crush the rebellion. But I fear that while we might be able to take down one or two people, the main leaders would stay hidden, which was why we need you to come in and approach it whichever way you see fit, whether you want to try and infiltrate them or you want to go in swords a-swinging and try and take people down. But we have heard that there is a bar in the dock ward known as the Captain's Lantern, and there appears to be a bit of dragon sympathetic language coming from around that side of town, and the dock ward would be where we have a lot of our warehouses for our imports and things like that. So they may be using that as a meeting point. We're not entirely sure, but that's sort of where the heaviest rumors are coming from.
We could have a check. Any other information that you might have for us?
Unfortunately, that's all the information I can give you, but I can get, well, from a crushing this rebellion kind of scale. But I suppose there is a password of sorts we use in Beckinsale to allow for undercover agents or people working on behalf of the council to. You're not above the law by any means, but if there was a ruckus broke out into the streets or something along those lines, if you spoke this, they would know that you're with us, and as long as no innocents get hurt or anything like that, you would be treated a bit more kindly than potentially otherwise. The password is lycanthropy. You're muted.
Look her up and down.
I'm muted again. Ah!
Yeah.
Harrow considers this, and then also on his own thinking, he's going to just basically hobble towards his allies who are doing the speaking out, but fine. Whisper in their ears. Is there any specific grievance of the dragon cult? Or are they just housing?
Yeah, I guess I'll send away to the.
Is there any specific grievance of like that the dragon cult has, or that?
Yes, with the people of Beckinsale.
Well, they just believe that the giants' time has come. That it's time for the dragons to win the war, and we'd all be happier under a draconic rule. You know, I'm sure
I
that
think
in places.
Harrow's essentially looking for like evidence of like, is this like a false flag thing? Is this some political game? Because he doesn't really care to be a political pawn.
Roll an insight check on
Yeah.
her against Elira. Elira.
Oh, that's rough. Do I have an inspiration left? No. Oh no, yes I do. Yes I do. I've got inspiration left. I'm gonna
You
reroll
probably
that.
should. I give away inspiration pretty easily, to be honest.
That's
And
better.
if not,
22.
I did
22.
better.
Oh yeah, good shit.
You look into her eyes and you match with these soulful grey eyes that she has, and you believe in your heart that she is looking to just save her city. If you ask the question about the grievances of the dragons, and so I was saying, she would continue saying that I imagine there's probably places in dragon territory where there are spy masters of the giant clan trying to gain footholds in there and turning their people against them. It's the unfortunate nature of this ever war. But as much as I am loyal to the giants, and I'm thankful to the two that protect us, my first and foremost duty is to the people of Beckinsale. Grow the city, make us prosperous, give us the most comfortable life we can live. And unfortunately, with where we are geographically, it means also quenching this fire before it goes any further.
Sure.
And to that end, you wish to remain prosperous, so I assume there are some resources you can offer us to help in this issue you're having.
There are the
Harrow cracks open a cold one and pours it
I mean, I've given you the VIP passphrase to help the gods on your side, but if you wish to have a couple of pieces of work commissioned for yourselves, I'm sure that Elira would be able to. I don't think that's the right name. I'm sure that Ilria would be able to give you a discount or so. We don't really have arms to offer anything more than a standard guardsman would have, and you all seem pretty well equipped from how I'm sitting. I've never seen battle myself, but we can maybe make a deal with some of the market district proprietors.
All we can ask.
Sounds adequate.
Gentlemen
Well,
and lady, time to get to work.
when
I
Just
can have,
before-
go on.
no, it's like,
Go for it, yeah.
and I guess just before we go, I want to ask if there are any specific dragon bones that we should know of. Anybody with importance in the city?
Was that any particular type of dragon? Did I understand that right?
I think maybe any dragon bones, navy dragon bones might be.
Oh, any dragonborns? Sorry.
Sorry.
Are there any
Uh,
Dragonborn Scooby-Doo villains in the city?
I mean, look, I'll be honest. There are certain places in town where dragonborns are discriminated against, and we are trying
Yes.
to quash that. It's not fair. They didn't choose the lineage of which they were born any more than a Goliath did under a under a giant's lineage. Just because they are born a particular species doesn't mean that they are loyal to one way or another. Some people believe that dragonborns are more easily manipulated by full dragons or anything like that, but we're trying our best to quelch that kind of thought process around here. there have been times where Barak has had to send some Stonehands to break up some assaults between folk and Dragonborns, but no, we don't look at Dragonborns with any particular kind of suspicion around here. It's your actions, not your skin or scales that we judge you on here.
Harrow's antsy at this point, and he's going to walk around to Indra and put his back to the council and just lean close and whisper in his kind of really raspy voice to Indra and say, "Look, whatever plot's going on here, these guys either don't know or won't tell us. We're not going to get any more from them. Make your goodbyes, be polite and all. Do all that shit you do, and then we'll leave."
Thanks for the information, and we can keep you posted. Keep us in mind.
Hearing Indra wrap up, I like turn to the guy, to the people we're talking to, and I go, "You may leave."
Elira gives you a slight smile. She says, "Unfortunately, we can't really leave because this is our everyday. But please go to the dock ward, see what you can find, and report back to us if you have any findings. Please help us save our town."
All right.
The hide that I commissioned with the leatherwork oven.
Mm-hmm.
How was that? Yeah, the day before.
Same day. So
was
the
this
way this
morning.
has worked is that
This has
the
been a long day,
morning,
hasn't it?
the
Okay.
morning,
It
the-
feels like it was
the-
3 months ago.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was we'd been there, then we'd rested, and then we'd carried on.
So you guys got to Beckinsale. You in the morning. You sort of scoped out a place to get breakfast and potentially where you were going to stay for the night. Went into the market district, did your commissions, Indra's dagger, your wolf skin, a couple other things, Brag's map. Harrow found the gunpowder store, if I remember correctly. And
Right.
then you went back to the place you scoped out for lunch. You went back to the place for lunch, and then you set out, followed Harrow to his mind flare, went to the Temple of the One, and now you're here. So it's probably about
long day.
3 p.m. 3 p.m.
What's the name
Well,
of
I don't know
the
what you guys, but
What's the name of the black powder store?
Oh fuck, I can't remember.
Was it was it Betty's or something? Was that why we?
No,
made
it wasn't Betty's. No, it was not Betty's. It was not Black Betty's.
Hold on, I think I made a note of it. It didn't
I
have a
can't-
name. I think it was just, but the person who owned it was called Garvin.
Garvin, that rings a bell.
Yes, that's
Garvin.
Garvin Emberwick. That's where it was.
Why did we start singing Black Betty then?
No, just I know.
'Cause
Big
black
Jesse, Big
powder.
Gun.
No,
There's all those YouTube memes as well about like big guns called like Black Betty. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, when they say something, you know, X.
So I don't know about you guys, but I could do with a drink, and apparently we went to head to a tavern.
There's 6 taverns. There's them all.
Yes, you were told that in the dock ward is the captain's
In the
lantern
dock
is where there are
in the Dock Ward.
the dark ward, and yeah,
Down in
there's
the
a dark
where
tavern.
Nobody goes.
Is that the party's next destination?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But, yep.
uh
While we're on the way there, I'm just gonna kind of talk to the party, and I'm gonna like, look. The best way to go about this, and I think you'd agree, Harrow, is to infiltrate. And I understand that you can't lie.
I don't know about that, but I might.
Those two are giants,
Right.
Well,
and
I'm gonna look round to like.
okay. And while he's the most charismatic, he'll have to lie. I actually hate giants.
Fuck you too.
I say it just a little bit too loudly to be comfortable, but not quite loud enough that anyone could overhear.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you too, little man.
so
But if we've been given the wrong connect and
Yeah, is still
you're
looking
in there
around to see
alone, I don't
who the other
like.
giant is.
Technically, aren't are orcs not giantkin?
Oh, is she
Oh.
an orc? Oh, well.
She's
Yeah.
an orc.
Oh,
eh,
yeah.
uh,
Can't
Adric,
That'd be
you
enough.
and Indra,
That'd be
you know,
enough.
let's at least battle of all of us. If you go in there alone and things go shit, you're in trouble.
I didn't say alone. I just let me do the talking.
All right. Deal
So
with that.
just before this conversation, this conversation does happen. Alira, the leader of the council, will say, because you made your you're going to the dockward next. She sort of points you to the right sort of teleporter to send you to the dockward rather than having to walk around
That's
town.
how.
Basically, so you kind of ask a guard or two where how to get to the captain's lantern. You make your way towards, and while you're on your way, this conversation happens.
Yeah.
After a few minutes, you come to a stone building with one of those signs that juts out just above the door, and it's an anchor, and it just says it's an anchor, and then underneath the anchor is a little lantern hanging down, and it just says Captain's Lantern, Weatherspoons.
I gotta pull with my backpack a bit, just enough so that the cultist mask I stole from Hatius's vine is just sticking out a little, just enough that
Okay.
anyone who's looking for it would notice, but not that like it's obvious.
I go to find a table and say, "Why the table's always sticky in here? Where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom?"
Every time I go into one of these, the carpet's different.
And strangely, no music. No. When you go in,
Wow, the
and
staff look like they're dead behind the eyes, don't they?
as you walk towards the captain's lantern, you're on. So I'm gonna, if everyone is looking at or the people who are looking at the map, I'm just gonna draw like a wee brush mark. You're along this sort of part of the dockward. So you're getting like that real sea breeze and smell, and as you walk in, yeah, it's quite a busy tavern. It's fairly large, and you can see that a lot of the people here are dressed in like kind of sailor's garb with the odd captain around the place. You get the feel that it's very much for like merchants and ship captains. The decor is really, really elegant with a very good nautical theme. There's lovely reds and golds, and there's a thick carpet on the floor. All the Go ahead, Amir.
In the background, all you hear is "In the Navy."
You see that all the tables are. You've got like your typical booths and smaller freestanding tables in the space, but they're all of really good quality wood. I mean, you would notice that a lot of them are like kind of like they're all like a mahogany or an oak. There's a few like longer style tables, and there's one that sort of dominates the space in the middle of the room that is more like a captain's table, like meant to be themed around like a captain's table on a boat. It's quite long, where you could have all your crew and all that sort of crack. Behind the bar, excuse me, is a human male who has sort of those pauldron on you would expect to see from like a naval officer. And then there is a half elf sort of running around in like a sort of standard tunic and tan trousers, like handing people drinks and the like.
As we get a table, I'm gonna grab some of my companions and be like, "Look, my feeling is something's going on. World is full of weird shit. Happens every day. But we saw this weird thing with the orb. Gestures onto my side, non-specifically. We saw some weird shit with that dragon attack out of nowhere on Hitea's spine. Bull 3 says maybe Dragon Cult got something to do with it. Maybe not. But either way, I don't like it. And I don't like thinking that we're being set up to fail, being used as pawns or bait against forces that we couldn't hope to fight. It ain't right. So, all I'm saying is when we go in here, we've got to keep our eyes ready, our weapons sharp, ready for a scrap, ready to make a tail for it if it ain't going our way. Anyway, that's my 2 pieces. Now I'm going to kind of wave down at a bartender and see if I can get some ale.
I know. The quickie is the tablet of sending to a wrong line.
Above the table, how good of an idea is it for me to go in there if we're trying to pass off as possible dragon sympathizers?
You could be a self-hating Goliath.
Yeah, just the same. You were just told how, again, above the table, you were just told how much the council and are trying to promote not judging people by the species they were born into. So it is not beyond the pale for it to be a giant who wants to overthrow the giants. Maybe you're a giant who wants to upset, or giant kin who wants to upset the ordering. Others, that's very common.
Oh yeah, because
You are a
frost
very
giants.
middle management giant.
Yeah.
You're a very middle management giant, to be fair. A middle
If you
management
were a
basis.
storm giant, it would be a trickier sell, to be perfectly honest. But as a frost giant, you're quite. Or maybe you just want to hit stuff because frost giants just love destruction.
I think, Harrow with his -2 performance is going to walk up to the bar. He's going to try and strike the affect of a sailor. He's like, ugh, I hate being in these giant territories for too long. Preachy sons of bitches, aren't they? Yeah. Why would as a fellow free thinkers hang out these days, huh?
Do me a
You
favor.
get Harrow's giving, those podcasts
Hello,
are like,
kids, huh?
free thinkers, like Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he's like halfway through his monologue, I just kind of walk up to the bar, like climb up a stool and go, "Can we get rid of this clown?"
Do me a favor and
Fucking narc.
first of all, Harrow, could you roll me a? You're talking to someone, right? So could you roll me a deception check? Deception
They
check.
are. It doesn't matter. They are all -2.
Okay.
That is a 7.
This person rolled a 19. And,
Okay, good.
You're talking to just some young sailor lad who's just maybe come in from being on the boat for a little bit, and he's just like, "Mate, go away. I just want to have some drinks and have a good time. Go get yourself some food. Just leave me alone."
All right.
For those of you interested who are thinking about ordering food, I know you're on a mission or whatever, but it is getting to the 5-6 p.m. time of night. So you've got your typical, you've got your mutton, your beef, your blah 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 blah. But the specials on order are you've got lobster bisque, grilled salmon, and exotic fruits. For drinks, you have fine wine, spiced rum, and the Lantern's cocktail. That's
What
your
about
sort of
stone bracken?
doesn't exist in this world.
Exists in every world. Every world was dwarves. Stone bracken's invented.
Oh, fine. Stone bracken will be the
Like
ever constant of my
carcinization.
games. You can have a stone bracken. It's essentially a pebble shaded Guinness.
It's dwarven Guinness.
Yeah, dwarven Guinness. Audric, you
I'm
coming
reading that. You're
around?
like, oh, there's a meal deal and quite competitively priced too. Food and a drink.
It's Tuesday night, so it's curry night.
Oh wow.
Audric, Harrow's inability to convince this person
I'd like to
strengthens
say
your
Harrow did it
claim.
purposefully to be bad cop, good cop, but Harrow's not that cool. So Harrow just strikes out and he'll go walk away.
Get it back in the
It strengthens your claim that this person's like a narc or shouldn't be here, blah blah blah. So if you try to sweet talk a person or someone who's in earshot, there's maybe like half a dozen people within earshot who've heard that altercation. It would probably give you advantage on what you would be trying to glean from people.
Can I try and play along with this, and maybe I'll like leave the pub looking dejected and sit outside the pub in an alleyway?
You can
Kind of
sit
thing.
outside the pub if you wish.
I will sit outside the pub in a cold, dark alleyway and eat some of my like dried beans from my ration pouch. They're like crunching beneath my teeth, and it is entirely unpleasant.
Okay. Okay. Harrow
Harrow's
does
always
not know what's going on behind closed doors now.
Yep.
I'll order a pint of rum and like a gnomish sized portion of lobster.
Okay. The man working behind the bar introduces himself as Captain Lysandra, who is an ex-naval officer, and says, "Well, here you go, little man. Try not to, there's always more if you want some more, if you've got a bigger appetite." Puts it out in front of you.
So,
How much does that cost me?
Like 2 silver.
So I will start eating it. But the way, like, I won't even pick up the knife and fork. I'll just start cracking open the shell of the lobster and shoving it between my teeth.
Right.
I
What
don't-
is it?
like,
What did he order?
Lobster bisque.
Lobster biscuit
lobster-
is a soup.
That was lobster.
I just ordered the lobster.
Oh,
I
you
don't
just
even
ordered the
ask for
lobster.
bisque,
Sorry,
ask for
just
the
ordered the
I just
lobster.
ask for like half a
Yeah,
lobster. and just start.
lobster biscuit is like a soup.
My mistake.
And then
Sorry.
I wash it down with some of my, some of my rum.
Okay. Yep.
Like, and I'm not
Why
even
the
talking to the
rum?
guy next to me. I'm just kind of
Oh,
staring.
Just kind of what? Sorry.
I'm just kind of looking forwards, just like shoving this lobster into my face, washing it down with rum, and occasionally glancing at the guy next to me to see what he's doing.
The guy next to you he is just ordering various drinks, and he appears to be with the person one down from you. They're just having a bit of crack. You get the feeling that they are also just in from leave. Maybe a week or so ago, they're talking about how they fought such as so many harpies and sirens, and they're trying to spin a tale that they fought like a hydra or some such on the water, trying to sort of similar to what Harrow did about kind of speaking to the room. They're also trying to speak to the room to maybe, you would guess, to try and get some interested wench.
Bragging at a tavern.
Yes, bragging at a tavern.
What I'm going to do is I get about halfway through my meal and I go, barkeep, could you watch this for me? And I kind of because the stool's too tall for me, so I try to hop off the my backpack kind of hits the stool and the mask falls off as I head off to the bathroom.
Do you pick it up again or just leave it on the floor?
No, I just leave it there.
Okay.
He's gonna act
Okay.
like he didn't notice.
You hear like a ching bonk as that all transpires, and when you come back from the bathroom, the mask is gone.
I just climb back up on my stool and just carry on as if nothing happened.
Do any of us see who moved it?
I would ask Indra and Amir to roll perception with advantage, and I would ask Audric to roll just a straight perception.
Roman, what
Ooh.
attitude?
That is rough. My condolences.
Wow. Amir, you would notice a strange kind of like, it looks like a wolf, but made of metal and gears, kind of runs over sniffs at it, picks it up in their mouth, and runs back towards a table at the very back of the room. And seemingly settles down beside another gnome and starts like tears at it and starts to like chew on it a wee bit. You would see that it goes to give me a second. Oh, why is nothing ever on the right freaking folder? What do you need it to be? This one. In the handouts.
Okay.
And you would then, following the eye around that table, you would see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, including that gnome, that are sat at that table. And they've not really taken notice of what the wolf is doing with the mask at
Are
all.
they all similarly dressed?
Yeah, they're clearly an adventuring party.
After like I come to the end of my meal and I kind of look like I kind of like open my bag trying to look in to look for something. I go, barkeep, did you notice if I dropped anything?
No, I can't say I did. I was too busy sort of dealing with all my my customers here, but I did hear, your bag hit off your stool, and then I heard like a clink, but I don't. Is it there on the floor? Is there anything on the floor? Like, is it there? Or...
I kind of look around, like I make like a big deal of like looking around, like moving the stools, like scraping them across the floor. It's like, nope, nothing here.
Amir, you notice that as that scraping is going on and Audric's making a bit of a scene, one of the people from that table do look up, sort of notice what the wolf has, and is looking sort of in Audric's direction.
Okay.
And then just kind of goes back to their drink.
When Odric looks over in my direction, can I like side eye the group so that he knows?
Absolutely. You absolutely can.
I kind of go to the other guy at the bar. Have you seen what I dropped?
Nah, mate, we're too busy talking about whenever we fought that, what was it? A kraken. Yeah, we fought a kraken, and we lived, and we killed the kraken.
And I roll insight to see if they ever fought a kraken.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was.
It's gonna be like a 1 now, isn't it?
Yeah, Sridhar, imagine a group lying about fighting Kraken. It's terrible.
That sounds like we've hit a nerve.
Oh, it's not a very good roll.
Oh, he rolled a 7, you rolled a 4, so yeah, you kind of believe you fought a kraken.
Our
Not all
party's
the
second
details
story
match up.
arc was about a villainous druid who basically acted like a Scooby-Doo villain. He used his druid powers to make storms and stuff to make people think there was a kraken who wanted gold sacrifices.
Oh, I love that. There's a Dragon Ball enemy that does something similar. I love that. Yeah, some of the details don't quite add up. Like, you don't remember a kraken having like the ability to wield a sword, or having like spider legs or anything. But yeah, they apparently fought a kraken.
Okay. I just kind of stumble around and like eventually I ask like one by one, have you seen what I dropped? And then like I make it round and I like kind of see what the dog's got in his mouth and go, is that mine?
The gnome who is sat with the wolf will turn around to you and be like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. He kind of just picks up what he finds. If that's yours, you can have it back. Just drop." And like the creature drops the mask, and as it plunks down on the floor, happily not soggy because he's a construct, everyone kind of the people at the table kind of give you a side eye, like they're praising you, and then sort of all but the gnome kind of goes back to their conversation.
So I'm just gonna kind of hold it up to assess the damage. Clearly, like making it obvious what I'm holding.
Okay. Roll a perception check, please.
It's almost a 19.
10. You notice of this group, there appears to be a high elf, 2 gnomes, a halfling, and a tan-skinned human male looking. But the human male appears to have some kind of like dragon iconography on like the pauldrons of his armor, plate of his plate mail.
I'm gonna go. That's some nice armor though. Where'd you get it crafted? Because I'm looking for some inspiration for my next set.
I mean, I'm a fairly well-traveled guy. I've sort of been all over this world, so I had my friend here, and he gestures to the gnome. I had him make it up for me after, we were in the dragon territories for a little bit.
It's nicely crafted, but can it do this? And you then my armor start expands over my head just to show it off, and then make it contract again.
He's like, that's a good trick. No, I can't do that. This just sort of stops swords and clubs and boulders and the like,
The kind that are thrown at you?
Yeah, or swung, or, just kind of anything incoming. And then you hear the halfling turn to the guy that's currently talking to you. Oh, sorry. I need to look up something here very quickly. My apologies. I should name these people. Fuck's sake. Sorry. I've lost his name. Where is it? He the half lean female turns around to him and says, "Hashira, be quiet before you give away everything we've worked for. You don't know this person. You can't trust them."
I'm very obviously a little bit tipsy because I have drank almost a full pint of rum. And I go, did you see that fucking snitch earlier?
Oh, yeah. He was a bit strange. Like, who's heard of like what was he even looking for? Like in Beckinsale? Like that was, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if you guys want to join me for a drink, I'm sat right over. But I kind of tried to turn, but I'm a little bit tipsy, so I wobble a bit. There, and I'm pointing at the stool I was sat at, with it still got my plate in front of it.
As you point, the rest of the party sort of look up, and you get a good look at them, and I'll put them all in handouts now.
Why does the gnome look like Andy Serkis met Warwick Davis?
True. I
Are the
never thought
bard
about
and
that.
ranger guy like brothers because they look identical?
The bard and the artificer.
Yeah.
Yes, they look identical.
A bad
Um,
officer.
they turn to look at your table, and they all kind of all right, we'll think about it. And then they look back, and then the tan-skinned male that you were talking to looks back again with a look of intrigue on his face, and juts out his chair and walks over, and Indra, you feel a hand grasp your shoulder, and he looks around. You look around to see this amber-eyed, tan-skinned man with this short shoulder-length brown hair and a blonde braid through his hair, and he looks at you and he says, "Brother," and he leans in and gives you a hug.
Is that my actual brother? Like the guy
That is your actual brother. You recognize this man.
I showed up to him. Hi, Hashulai, how are you doing? You right? Surprised
Indra,
you're here.
what are you doing here? I haven't seen you. God, what is it? 50 years?
Probably, yeah. It's been ages. What are you up to these days?
I'm not here. I mean,
Um,
How's our
He.
sister doing? How's brother?
Oh, I lost track of her a while ago, but here I'm just fighting the good fight, trying to make my way in the world, and sort of shoots you a wink.
Yeah, I was just out to have a talk with him. And okay.
He like just give me 1 second here, and pulls out, goes into his pouch on his hip, and pulls out a gold piece, and goes to like shake your hand about, let's have some drinks tonight. Why don't we hang out while I'm in town? And just, it was good to see you, brother. And as you sort of pull your hand away, there is an extra crinkle to this gold piece.
Can I check detail what it is? The inscription. Magic effect.
So do you check the paper that he gave you?
Yeah.
It says it's got a. Let me just check something. Just need to check the. Just need to check something. Sorry. How many fingers does this thing have? You see in the center of the piece of paper is a paw print, for lack of a better term, of 3 talons. Like three fingers, like 3 talons, and then like a thumb. And it says excuse me, meeting at Warehouse 10 tonight.
What does it mean? Sorry, again?
What does that mean? Sorry.
Yeah, so I just didn't hear what you just said. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. So it's got like 3 talons and a thumb talon, and then it says on it, meeting at Warehouse 10 tonight.
Alright, yeah, I'll just note that out.
And that is where we are going to end off tonight.
Okay. Exciting.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 past
Right,
midnight.
Go.
And that feels like a fun cliffhanger.
Okay, so just so you know, I had no idea this was coming up, so I'm prepared right now.
That's fine.
I'm
Ready
in
for next
shock.
week.
Yeah.
Aaron doesn't know any of this because he's outside in an alleyway trying to keep his keep objects covered.
Yeah, so Indra's brother could be wrapped up in the whole thing. Who knows?
Ooh,
Oh
ooh.
no! Is it gonna be a dick?
He might
Find
be.
out next week. Find out next week in Agadon.
That's why whenever we weren't sure if you were going to be able to play or not, Shadar, I was like, I kind of need him here.
You guys see this guy, we're like, yeah, and you're like, well, this is this guy. You're like, yep, and
I really, really want to play today again.
That's my stone bracken glass I made.
nice.
Very nice.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. So
So
thank
instead
you
of
very
splitting
much,
the G,
guys.
what would you what would you
Thank
say?
you, no.
Splitting the O.